Hello and welcome to another episode of Music Theory 101. So far we looked at staff lines and clefs, and today we're talking about time signature, also called meter signature. Now this one might get a bit hairy really, so strap on in for the ride. But in order to keep these music theories rather short, I'm going to split it into two parts. So today I'm talking about the basics of time signatures, and next week I'm going to talk about the different kinds of time signatures there are. Now to get on with it, the time signature shows the stresses, or more accurately the meter, of the music. This means that the time signature does not show the tempo of the song as some do believe. Tempo is commonly just indicated by, text, but more on that another day. If you don't understand what I mean by stresses, firstly it is important to note that music reading is temporal, meaning that the music has to be read in a certain tempo and with certain stresses on certain notes. So, if you change the time signature of a melody, the stresses of the melody change as well. For an example, try to listen to Mary Had a Little Lamb in its original time signature of 4/4, also known as common time. Now try to hear it again, but this time with the time signature of 3/4. Notice how the melody is actually the same, but the feeling, the groove of the song changes because the stresses of the song changes to different places. Now, in order to figure out what a time signature consists of, firstly you have to know the name of the different note lengths. Now, all the notes are named after their usage in the time signature of common time, or 4/4. Meaning that this is a whole note because it takes up the entirety of the measure. This is a half note because it takes up half the measure. This is a quarter note. This is an eighth note. This is a 16th note, and so on. Now, if you're new and this is confusing, let me give you this tip I used to use. When I started writing music, I remember it by saying that every time I added something to the note, it got half as long. So when I added a stem, which is this line, it got half as long. If I filled out the note head, which is this one, it gets half as long. Or if I added a flag, it got half as long. So let's get back to time signatures. Now all time signatures consist of two numbers. The lower is the beat unit and tells how long one beat is. So in this example, the beat unit would be a half note. An easy way to think of it is like division. If you divide 1 with 2, you get a half, hence a half note. So in this example, you take 1 and divide it by 4, it gives a quarter, meaning that the beat unit is a quarter note. Now the higher one tells how many beats there are in a measure. So in this example, that would be 3/4 in a measure. Or in this example, that would be 4 halves in a measure. Notice that it doesn't have to add up, so you have like 2 halves, but you can have 4 halves or whatever. Then you might ask, what's the difference then between 4/4 and 2/2? That unfortunately is something we're going to have to talk about next week. For now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe so you'll know when a new one comes up. If you have any questions, just leave a comment, I'll be sure to answer it. My name has been Alexander Klock, and goodbye.